So, right, texture paste. I'm so pleased with the way these have come out, and I personally have never really been a huge texture paste kind of person, and it was only when we thought we wanted to add something a little bit different, and we started playing, experimenting and trialling and whatever. I have so got into this, and they are amazing. And so what I've done here, I did show this a little bit this morning, but it was really brief, and so I'm just going to recap.
No, that's good.
We've got a clear, a black and a white.
Okay.
And you think, well, why do I need all three? I just wanted to show very, very quickly what the differences are, and some might be just quite minimal, but actually you'd use different ones for different applications. So this is obviously clear paste on white, black paste on white, white paste on white, and you might think, well, that doesn't show up very well, but I'm going to show a demonstration a little bit how to use the paste as a resist, a bit like Batik. So you're exposing the paper at the background and colouring the paper, but not where the paste is.
Tilt that. There you go. Look. So there is that. I don't know, you're just thinking it's white cut. It is there, and I can see it in the studio. It does make just a beautiful, subtle background if you wanted it to be.
Yeah. I mean, you could use it just as is, but for different techniques, it's brilliant. And then we've got exactly the same again, the clear, the black and the white on black paper, so you can see the difference. And then again on white, but this time I've added our stardust. This one, the clear paste, when you add stardust, all your mica powders, it becomes quite translucent, and so that's really great if you've got, say, something like a book print and you want to put colours on top. You can still see the book print through your paste. Yeah. And then adding the pigments to black, you wouldn't think that would show too much, but you get the lovely colour combinations by adding it to black, and with adding it to white paste you get more pastels, and then exactly the same again but onto the black, and this is using our wax lyrical on the tops of the paste. Absolutely cracking base. So that's just in brief what I'm going to be demonstrating.
That's nice though.
And so I've got all my little demos here because I've got so many I want to do. I don't want to forget which ones I'm doing. So first ones, we're going to work with the clear paste, and I'm going to use a stencil, and our stencils are always very, very busy because they're just gorgeous, and I want to show how we're going to mix some stardust powders. So I picked gold. I mean, look how gorgeous these colours are, and these powders, you can mix them with water and do a little bit of painting with them. You can do some stamping, and while the ink is still wet you can sprinkle them on the top of the ink pads, the stamped image, and then you need to set it with something like a hairspray or something like that, but that is where that peacock, that gold peacock, was that how we did that. So I'm just going to mix it up together. Now, the more powder you add, obviously, the stronger the colour. You don't need a huge amount, and the more you add, you get different textures to it as well, so that can be really exciting. So we're going to do the gold there, just wipe my palette up.
I love these.
Oh, it's such good fun. I love it. Bit of gold.
They're full pots as well.
They are full pots. These stardust, these are my original set. I haven't had a new set, and we've had them for quite some time. So we're going to put our stencil onto, hang on, got a bit of fluff. Get rid of the fluff. Okay. And then we're going to literally, just like you're icing a cake. And I said this morning, actually not this morning, the 1 o'clock show, people say, how do I stop the paste going under? You want to sort of drag it down once, maybe if you've missed a bit, go over twice, but don't keep going over and over and over, because that's when you sort of are squishing it underneath. So just sort of be a bit mindful of that. And then we're going to go in with the other colour.
Look at this. So this is the clear? White.
This is the clear.
This is the clear that we're looking at the moment.
So what you'll be left with, I'll show you what it dries like. Lift up.
Oh my word.
It's absolutely beautiful. So if you want to hang on to that while I just... Right, the one thing you must do when you're using paste is always put your stencil into some water. And I've just got a little tub down here.
No, that's fine. I'll move.
When I'm at home, I go straight under the sink. I run it under the sink, get all the paste off, because otherwise it will dry on there and it's difficult to get off.
Look at this. And this is not even dry yet. This is literally straight from the stencil. So when, obviously, with it being clear, so we're obviously, I'm guessing, and tell me if I'm wrong, it will go on cloudy.
Yes.
But it will dry clear, so we'll just get that beautiful powder through.
Yes, absolutely. And if I can show you this one, this one is exactly the same, but dry.
Look at that.
And what a beautiful stencil. And imagine fussy cutting a little something and just putting it against there as your background.
And do we dry naturally or can we force dry?
Either. I always tend to leave mine to dry naturally, but if you're in a hurry, you want to speed things up.
We can force dry.
Yeah, you definitely can do that. So that's my first little demo. This one, I absolutely love this technique. I do it loads. And what I've done on this one is I've gone over with the clear paste and it's dried. So basically what I've just done, but without adding the stardust, it's dry. And so that's going to act as a resist. And this is on Bockingford paper. So it's a really good quality watercolour paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it with water. So the clear paste is holding the water off the paper, but the paper that's exposed through the stencil is getting wet. Okay, so I'm then going to get some multi-surface paint. In this case, just so it will show up really well on camera, is some crimson, which I think this is called Soft Mulberry Shimmer. And then when that's absorbed into the paper, can you see how it's running down into the gaps? And you can do this technique with the clear. You can do it with the other colours. It works best with clear because you can still see the colour from underneath the clear behind. I mean, I literally would just leave it like that, but you can keep going. But look how gorgeous!
I love that.
It's absolutely fantastic. But I will keep going because.
Be rude not to.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
So just going where it's a resist. It's now used it as a resist. So see, I like, because then where you're looking at now is where the paste is. So the bits of the green and the blue, that's where the paste is. Everywhere else is now where your pink is.
So if anybody's ever done batik, where you put your wax on and then you expose your dye to fabric. And the wax is like the paste, but that will dry really, really beautifully, and then is a great base for them putting sort of fussy cutting pieces on. So that's number 2.
How else would you do that? How else would you go about and do that without stamping and masking? And I can't think of a way of doing it.
No, me neither. I just love it. And then the next one is I want to show our wax lyrical on that we've got on the show. And this one I have just done through a stencil. You can just see it. When it hasn't got any micas or stardust powders or pigments in it, it's quite shiny. Like I say, the more pigment you add, the less shiny it becomes. But again, makes a great base for...
Is this the clear that you've used on this one?
No, this is the black.
Oh, this is the black?
This is the black, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I thought it was picking up the clear and I thought it was picking up the black cardstock underneath.
I've done black on black. And with our wax lyricals, they are full of pigment, they are fantastic, and we put them in a tube. And the reason we put them in a tube is because you don't want a big surface area that's open to the air because it dries really, really quickly.
Oh, okay.
So you just squeeze out a little bit at a time and then just keep topping up so that they last a lot longer.
Question, because I've not worked with you for a while. The stencils, are you the designer of the stencils? Who's designed all the stencils?
I have designed the pink ink stencils, and then we've got a very good friend of mine's son who has just gone to art school, has started designing for us, and my daughter has just started designing. Yes, my daughter Dora, who's also just coming in her final year of a graphics design and illustration course.
Nice.
Pardon? Oh yes, this one is my daughter's.
I think that's what we were getting at.
Yeah. So you can see how the wax goes. Oh, it was a long way round, wasn't it?
Don't worry.
And then
Mel's here for.
yeah, and then what also you can do with it is you can sort of actually get it on the paper, but buff it off with your finger on the. So can you see the difference between the two?
Yeah.
So again, two different techniques. You're using the sheen and the gloss of the paste to sort of polish it off. So again,
Would this work with this one? If you polish this one, would you take it off the,
yes,
on the top?
But you have to do it really quickly before it's dry. Once it's dry, then you're slightly... Yeah. So, I mean, look at that pink on that black.
I like that.
How fat... It's just so pretty. And the last main one that I want to do, last demo, is I actually want to show... where's my little label so I know exactly what I'm doing? Is it under there? Number 4. Yeah, on one stencil. So you can see the difference on the surfaces. So let's get a different stencil this time. My favourite one, branches. And we'll get a bit of white. And we'll go across the white and the black. Okay. Oh no, that's the clear actually, beg pardon. That's the clear.
Look at this.
And every time I'm working with one type of paste, I think that's my favourite. I think, oh yeah, no, I really like the clear. If I had to choose one, it would be the clear. And then I start working on the black, and then I like the black. I love the black. And then I start working with the white on black, and then that's my favourite.
Right, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And be honest with me.
Yeah.
Okay. I get the paste tone.
Yes.
But I haven't got the tools of the trade.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can use in the meantime if I haven't got all the kit and caboodle?
Yeah, you can use a knife.
Oh, okay.
A knife will do the same job. You want to just place it on and spread it, just like you're icing a cake, but without too much fiddling.
See, this is the stuff we want to know, because sometimes you go, if I get the paste, I haven't got the other tools, so I can't do it, so I'll leave it. No, and that's the reason why I'm here, to be honest, to ask the questions like, if I haven't got all the tools, because let's be fair, we've not got all the tools, but we want to try all these techniques.
No, these tools here, I didn't buy these. These are my mother-in-law's, and they, unfortunately, she died a few years back, and these were in her stash, and I thought, oh, they'll be brilliant for doing the pastry with stencils. And then, is this the white one? Yes, it is. And then the white last, just so you can see the difference. But the white...
It's a true white as well.
Yeah, it's a true white, and when it's on the black, oh, it's delicious.
Did you ever think you'd get into paste? Or did you just think it would be stamps and watercolours and...
well, you know, I'm trained as an artist, so, you know, when I was studying 100 years ago, we didn't have pastes and things like that, so it was never something I really kind of got into. But once I started, I can see how all of this combined together would be just great.
Oh, look at that.
But right, let me just put this in water, so I can use that again. But you can see this. Now this looks cloudy, but that won't dry cloudy. It's going to dry completely clear. It's difficult to see on this one, isn't it?
Towards you. Are we going forward? Should we go forward, camera? So there. You can see that is and that black on the white. It just stands out.
Yes, doesn't it?
Now that is upside down, by the way, but I don't want. There you go. Look, you can see it all now. How beautiful that!
Yeah. But the white on the black, I've got it a bit thin there, but is really, really white, and it dries really, really white. And then if I could quickly, before you
go on.
Leave me, I just want to show you some little samples of different ones. So that's one I just did very quickly this morning with different Stardust colours. I think that was the same, different, but again, you can see the colour of the painted piece underneath, which was done with multi-surface. Now this one is, I've put the black on and then literally gone like that. I've dabbed it.
Oh, okay.
And that gives like a skin effect.
Like
it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's just like leather. And then again with different pastes, different colours. That's white nice. On the black. I mean, how beautiful is that?
That really is. That is a card front ready and waiting.
Yeah. And because putting golds and pinks and all sorts of things on the black with the wax lyrical be great. This one was before I put the stencil in the tray to clean. I spritzed the dirty side and then just pushed it down. And again, great backgrounds to be done. Again, more wax. Now this one, love this one. I don't know if you can see the gold. Yeah. I put the paste on. I mixed up the Stardust, put the clear plate paste on, and this would work whether you did it on with black or white or clear. And then I got some Stardust and I literally just dropped it from a height and it stuck to the surface. So that's a really good technique. Again, this is the water, the same as this one we did here.
Oh, bleed through.
Yeah, putting the bleed through, but with different colours underneath. That's a bleed through as well. I think when you have a more contrast of a colour, it shows up better.
It really does.
I mean, black on a strong ink background is just beautiful. And then this one, we've got, in our multi-surface paints, we've got glitters, and I mixed the glitter with the clear, and then that's how that came out. And it's got that sort of translucent effect, but it's beautiful. And then, of course, with the markers, and I've done some gold pen work on the top.
I love these.
So don't just do your stenciling and then leave it, you know, work on it and do more and more bits and bobs. And again, this one was white and it's got a sort of a dirty colour to it, which I really like, which I then sprayed it with Distress Oxides, let it dry, and then I buffed it off like a shoe polish.
It looks like white cardstock though. Look at that.
Yeah, but it's got like a stain to it.
Absolutely. See, this is the thing. This is going to push what you do already to the next level.